These last couple of months have been kind of crazy around our house. We've got new egg-laying chicks that we've had to incorporate in our coop. We have new meat birds that we're starting to do this year. And of course, with spring, there's so many different things going on that it's just hard to keep up with everything. But today I wanted to show you a project that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks, and that is our rain collection system. So this is our rain collection system. It looks like there's a lot left to be done with it, and that's true. But I'm going to show you what we've done to plan for this system, the steps that we've taken to get to this point, and its potential here on our homestead. So ever since we moved into this house back in 2022, I've wanted to put in a rain collection system. When we first moved in, we didn't have a garage, so we opted to put in a 30 by 40 shop. And it's been great. It's been wonderful to do projects, to store some of our stuff, including our travel trailer, and to be able to take care of our chickens as well. But this shop is now going to have another purpose, and that is for rain collection. So the plan has always been to put a water tank at the back, have the gutters and downspouts at the back of the shop, and have first flush diverters that help clean the water as it gets into the tank. Because of the amount of wind that we get here in our property, I wanted to also insulate the tank. To insulate an 8-foot by 8-foot, 2,500 gallon tank, it would be pretty much impossible, if not to bury it. So the first step would be to dig a hole. To dig a hole this big, it's highly recommended to get an excavator. As we got down to about 4 feet, we found that the water table was a little bit too high for our property. So 4 feet is our limit here. The type of tank that we bought is not rated to be buried. The website does say that they can be partially buried, but care needs to be taken because they can smash because of the weight of all the earth. So I built these retaining walls to kind of help with keeping the dirt away from the tanks. Once the tank is in the ground, you can fill the tank up to the level of the dirt and then backfill it. That way the pressure of the water is pushing up against the walls, and that keeps the tank from collapsing on itself. Now I could have just kept it above ground and had it 8 feet tall. For me, it would be harder to maintain because I would always have to get a ladder to get on top of the tank. And also, I want to be able to have the tank filled with water during the winter. About half of our water comes from snow. So I want to be able to collect that snow runoff. When the snow melts on top of our shop, I want to be able to collect that water, but I also want to be able to have this water not freeze, because once water freezes, it expands, and once it expands, it can rupture the tank. Prior to putting the tank in the hole, you want to make sure that you have cut all your holes that you'll need for the overflow pipes, inlets, water level monitors, everything that you need. You want to make sure that you cut these holes prior to putting it upright or putting it in the hole. Having it on its side like this allows me to easily clean up the piece of the plastic that gets caught inside after I cut the holes. If your tank has a lower outlet like ours does, you want to make sure that you prep it prior to putting it upright and putting it in the hole as well. For this instance, we're not going to be using this bottom outlet. We will be drawing the water from the top. So I want to make sure that this is sealed as good as it can get prior to lowering it in the hole. A tank this size is difficult to maneuver. However, we were able to do some Egyptian-style maneuvers to move the tank closer to the hole without scratching up the bottom or causing major damages. Once we had it near the hole, I placed some boards and some rebar to keep the tank in place over the hole. I then moved the board and lowered the tank into place at the bottom of the hole and did some minor adjustments, and then we were done. So getting this in the hole wasn't really that difficult, but it was super stressful. There were countless nights that I would be thinking about how to get this into the hole, most of which would require heavy equipment to be able to get it in there. But because of how light it is compared to the size, I wasn't sure if heavy machinery was going to be able to hold the tank and without breaking it. So having countless nights of thinking about it and laying in bed and trying to figure out what I could do, and thinking about using the PVC pipe to kind of roll it into place and then kind of maneuver it over the hole, it seemed like that was going to be one of the better options for us. It was nice to be able to get it done and not have to worry about it anymore. So now that we got it in the hole, it was now time to start thinking about the downspouts. When I first had the gutters installed on this shop, I told them not to put in the downspouts just because I knew that I would be tying it into a 3-inch pipe specifically for the first flush diverters. So I decided to go with 3-inch PVC pipe throughout the whole thing, the downspout up until the tank. So it's a pretty basic design with the 3-inch PVC pipe. The main concern that you have when using PVC pipe for a downspout and for your system is to make sure that it's secure to structure. It not only needs to hold and support the weight of the PVC pipe, but once water gets in and starts being used, it needs to be able to support the weight of the water as well. So this is our first flush diverter, and it is meant to pick up and store the dirty water that comes down for the first part of a storm. During normal days, bird poop, dust, other debris will settle on the roof, and that first part of the storm will wash that down. Instead of it going directly into our tank, it's diverted into this storage tank, keeping our fresh water cleaner. So as it fills up, this green ball here is at the bottom and it starts to fill up with that dirty water. And when it gets to the top, it hits this little stopper here, stopping and plugging that water. So all that fresh rainwater is now diverted back over to our fresh water tank. And down here at the bottom has a slow drip nozzle that gives it a little less maintenance for me to do. Like at the end of the storm, I don't have to come out here and unplug it and drain all that water. It will slowly release and slowly bring that ball back down, draining all that dirty water. If I need to, I can open this up and clean it out a little bit more. But after regular rainstorms, I don't have to come out here and worry about this being filled for the next rainstorm. So it's nice low maintenance system. Once water collects in the tank, you want to make sure that these connections at the bottom are not leaking. Prior to backfilling the dirt, you just want to make sure that it's not going to leak and not going to cause you problems in the future. The top of our tank, it consists of the inlet, which has a screen big enough for the opening. It has the water gauge to show how much water is actually in our tank. And then it has this outlet here for when I'm ready to draw the water out of the tank. As of right now, it's done, but there's still a lot of work to do. I will be backfilling this with dirt. I've decided that I'm going to be slowly doing it over the next few months to make sure that that tank doesn't collapse on itself. I have built the retaining walls to help with this, but all this time and energy and money, I want to make sure that it's done right and done right the first time. So I'll slowly be moving this dirt back into the hole, and once I get it to level the ground, I will be building another wall that will come up. And the purpose of that is to keep it insulated during the winter. Building the wall up and then filling between the tank and the wall with dirt will help insulate it even more, allowing me to have this system running through the winter and I don't have to winterize it. Now, anyone can put in a system like this in their own home. You might not want a 2,500 gallon tank, or you might even want more than that. So with rain collection, it's all a matter of what you're going to use it for and its purpose. But what I would suggest is, if you're not doing rain collection, you need to. I mean, after the cost of putting in the system, you get free rainwater. And one easy option for rain collection is for your chickens. If you haven't seen it, I have a video all about the water collection of our chicken coop and how easy it is to maintain it and to keep it running all year round. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. I got a link up above. So why collect rainwater? It's a way for you to become a little bit more self-reliant on your home or homestead. This day and age, there's not a lot that we can be self-reliant on, and water can be one of those. Yes, the system can cost a little bit to get installed, but once it's installed, your water is free. The potential that we have here on our homestead is that we'll be able to use this water for our home if we wish to, but I think what we're going to be leaning more towards is helping it to irrigate our garden and the potential for a clover-based yard. It's going to take a lot of work to get installed and get implemented, but with this water being collected throughout the year, it's going to set us up for a gorgeous yard for next year. And having it be a source of reliance for us and not have to rely on city water or any other means of watering our yard and our garden gives us that much more independence on how we get our water and what's in our water. So that's basically our rain collection system. Now, it's only the base of it, the collection of it. I will be posting a video on how we're going to be tapping into this and setting it up to irrigate our clover yard and our garden. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss that video. And again, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment. I love reading your comments, so go ahead and do that. And again, thank you for watching.